Tell us the latest.
Yes. So yesterday morning, Chamath, as you mentioned, former Facebook executive, he's on the All In podcast, sent a letter to investors in Social Capital, to say that two of their top partners, Jay Zaveri and Ravi Tanuku, they were fired. They hired Wachtell Lipton, a big-time law firm, to review and probe the situation. And after a probe, Chamath terminated both of them on Sunday. The situation in question happened last Tuesday. And in the letter, all he did was call it a situation. So there's been a lot of intrigue within Social Capital, in the investment and venture capital communities about what exactly happened here. There's been all sorts of speculation, but now we've learned this comes down to Grok. It's an AI startup that Social Capital invested in, 5-6 years ago. And this had to do with the partners being involved in offering a special purpose vehicle related to Grok to some outside investors. This happened after, Grok was worth maybe 60 million a few years ago. Now its valuation topped $1 billion. So special purpose vehicle related to that and all the money to be earned there. The company only said, Social Capital, that the two men violated company policy, but didn't go beyond that. And we've heard from lawyers for both of the men who were terminated saying there is no wrongdoing. And once they show their case, the public will know that they've done nothing wrong. And Chamath and Social Capital haven't responded to those responses.
Mr. Zaveri's firing was unfair and undeserved, so says the spokesman, and the firm's leadership approved and participated in the investment that is now being used as a pretext, they say, to fire him. Ultimately, Mark, how unusual is it to get such little information when such a step is taken? How unusual is it to lose such partners from a firm?
Oh, I mean, people are fired from firms all the time, but it is pretty unusual, especially you're showing the tweet from Social Capital. What they've done there by saying employee-specific circumstances and saying they have no further comments at this time, not even naming the people in the initial tweet, all they did was create a bunch of intrigue about what exactly happened. If they had come out and said initially what happened, maybe it wouldn't have been such a significant news cycle. But they handled this poorly from the get-go. And it was really a 3-sentence email from Chamath to a bunch of outside investment partners that really got this going. And in that email, all he did was call it a situation. He said, if you want more information, give me a call. So lots of intrigue here. So yes, an unusual situation indeed.
So Mark, Social Capital is basically not saying anything, giving any details, but we know this has something to do with AI startup Grok. Just explain the basics of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of speculation on what exactly that means, right? This AI startup, their valuation completely just went through the roof. And I guess there were some concerns from Chamath potentially about that investment and how that investment was handled and how outside investors had been dragged into that. We're still trying to gather more information on what exactly is happening here. Our hope is that the lawyers for both sides start presenting their cases to the public and perhaps send us more information about what's going on here so we can really understand. But this seems really abrupt, right? Having the quote-unquote situation appear on Tuesday, hiring a law firm on Thursday, having both partners terminated on Sunday, and then this announcement coming via email on Tuesday within 1 week. This seems like something that was done very quickly, something that may have been done in a rash manner. But really, we're going to need to know more information before we can really determine, who's in the right and who's in the wrong here.